This video is designed to give you a short overview of Smart Notebook, the real basics. I mean, this part of this training, to be honest, takes a couple hours, but just to give you an overview so you can see what you're looking at here. We're going to start with the left-hand side here with the tabs. What you have is your page sorter, and what this is a tab that will give you little snapshots of what your files actually, or your each slide looks like. You got your gallery tab. This is kind of like your clip art gallery of Smart Notebook. You have your attachments tab. This is to kind of add files that you'll be using during your main file. Like I said, that is a whole hour in itself. And you got your properties tab. So basically, if you ever need to change colors, gradients, patterns, if you ever want to use the page recorder, if you want to use object animation, that's all in here. Our buttons up top, your buttons right off the bat will look different. I have customized this toolbar just a little bit, not much. Plus you will have one or two more buttons that I do not have because when you download this, you will be downloading a newer version. Your first two is your forward and back button to go from slide to slide. Third button is new page, so if you want to add new page. You got open and save. One thing to keep in mind when you open a file in Smart Notebook compared to any other program, you open a file in any other program, it just opens a new window. So say Microsoft Word, you're in a file, you open another one, it just creates another instance of Microsoft Word. Smart Notebook does not do that. If you use the open button, it will close the one you're working on and open up a new one. The way you can have multiple notebook files open, I do it all the time, is you actually have to go on, double click on the file itself, or relaunch Smart Notebook and do an open. You'd have multiple incidences that way. You got your paste, your undo and redo button, very powerful buttons, your delete button. So if I had something selected on the page, I could delete it. You have your screen shade. This is kind of the equivalent to the piece of paper on an overhead projector. So if I click the shade, it covers my screen. As you can see, I can go up and down, and go up and down from the bottom, and go left and right. So I have that option. I can go a little bit left and a little bit up and down. But as you can see, I can't split the page. So you only can go, from the top and bottom and sides. So the screen shade's there. And if I have it all the way, say I want to cover the screen real quick, double click and it will cover the whole screen again. So I'll close that. Next button takes you to full screen mode. Kind of gets rid of everything, and here's your toolbar all right here. Go back to regular screen. I can do dual page, so I can see multiple pages at one time. Very handy for multiple situations. Go back to single page. We have our screen capture tool, very powerful on a Mac. You have this built in, and most people who have Mac never use this, but PC people use it all the time. I use it non-stop. And what this would allow me to do is capture things off of a page as still images. If you have a smart document camera, that's what this button is. It activates that. If you have any other document camera besides a smart button or smart document camera, this is a useless button. To insert tables, this is this button. Next ones are select, so kind of like our mouse. Our next one is our pen tool. So you have some different colors. You can customize those. And it's just a regular drawing pen. You have your creative pen. And here, kind of a few different things. Kind of gives your page a little bit different of a look. But like we said before, we don't want to over wow the kids. So some things I use this for, quick bullet points. Maybe a quick, that's right, that's right, that's right, with the smiley faces. Or let's say you are teaching you're teaching Japanese. If you write with a normal pen and you write the symbol for house, really you don't know if that is the correct way, because in Japanese writing, the strokes make a difference. So if I use my creative pens and write the word for house, I can see the order of how these are written. And actually that's written wrong, because it's actually this, like that, and you can see the order of the three strokes. Another example for this, let's say you're teaching how to write numbers. There you can see the order that the lines were written. So that's a creative pen. On the newer version, you'll also see a calligraphy pen. It's a real nice pen, kind of straightens your handwriting for you. I use it all the time, it's great. You have your eraser. Your eraser only erases digital ink, so only erase what's written by these two things and the calligraphy pen. So I just come over here and I can erase it. Or you have the trick, what we call the circle tap. Circle what you want to erase, click in the center, and it erases everything inside that circle. You get your line tool to draw lines. Your shapes tool gives you all different kinds of shapes. And if you're using the newer version, you will notice that there are a couple new shapes that have been added. You got shape recognition tool. I normally do not have this in my toolbar. What this does is I can write kind of a sloppy circle, but then it auto corrects it so it looks a little neater. But if you have the shapes tool, why do you need that? You have the magic pen. This is kind of cool. The magic pen only does three things. If I were to draw a circle with the magic pen, it gives me a spotlight on the page, helps me focus what it is I'm working on. That's one. If I draw a box, I now have a magnifying glass that I can use on my page to enlarge what I'm looking at. And the third thing, if I write with the magic pen and give it a few seconds, it's disappearing ink. So there are some reasons for using that. We do have our fill tool, so I could come over here and fill my circle. I do have a text tool. The problem is if you just start typing, it just starts typing. You don't need the text tool. We have our properties. This button will actually send our toolbar to the bottom. So let's say your smartboard's kind of high, but you have elementary kids. Click on it, it gets to the bottom, and they can get to the toolbar. And this one you would have to add. There's a bunch of different ways to get to it. This is the smart recorder. This is the program I use to create all the screencasts that you are seeing. Um, and it's just hard to record, to show you how to record with it when you use that to record. But this is the program I use. There's multiple ways to get to it. Once you install Smart Notebook, you'll have an icon down here in the lower right hand corner. You can go to your start menu. It'd be Smart Technology, Smart Notebook, and Smart Recorder isn't there. And what that does allows you to record everything on your screen. And it's a little more advanced. It's actually that simple, but there are some advanced tools you can use to just record parts of your screen, stuff of that nature. So that is the very quick and brief overview of the top toolbar.